Damnation Alley from 1977, directed by Jack Smite, loosely based on the novel of the same name. This is a rare example of a post-apocalyptic film that predates Mad Max, so we don't see quite the same things happening as we would in something that's taking inspiration from Mad Max. This is a setting that is just as harsh as what would come later, but it's not as big. It doesn't have the kind of colorful raider gangs that later stuff would have, but I think that it makes it a little bit more impactful when things happen. It's more intimate. The film starts in an ICBM silo. World War III kicks off. They launch their missiles. Much of the nation is badly mauled. The Earth is knocked off its axis by all of the nuclear blasts. This and the radiation causes a lot of bad effects. There are terrible storms and mutated creatures. Years pass. The Air Force members that man the silo are trying to survive and rebuild, but an accident destroys the bunker, killing the majority of them. And so it is up to a brash young man named Jake and the older, more level-headed Major Denton to travel the wasteland on a quest to investigate the only remaining sign of human life, a mysterious radio transmission from Albany. They have to navigate a small, relatively safe corridor to get there. Fans of 80s pop culture will recognize Jan Michael Vincent from Airwolf and George Papard from the A-Team. Their transportation is a strange vehicle called the Landmaster that was designed to operate in a post-atomic Holocaust world. The design is pretty unique with its triple wheels and its pivoting middle section. Interestingly enough, the Landmaster was actually a real vehicle made for the film, which more or less functioned. The concept of a brash, young, impulsive character working with an older, wiser character is nothing new. Ideally, they play off each other's strengths and weaknesses, learning from one another. The younger one would grow as a person, learn to take less risks, learn when to take a risk and when it's not worth it. The older one would learn that sometimes you need to be aggressive, but more often than not, it just ends up with the young one being a total idiot and the older one being a boring grump. I think that Damnation Alley does a decent job of striking a balance. Over the course of the journey, they lose people and pick up other survivors. They each, of course, have their own stories, their own things that they bring to the movie. There's a decent variety of post-apocalyptic stuff here. We've got madmen, gross bugs, and freak weather events. It's kind of episodic, with them having different adventures as they go along. There's a fun scene where they dick around in a derelict casino, experiencing some facsimile of the world that doesn't exist anymore. The flamboyant dress and things of raider gangs in later post-apocalyptic films kind of overshadows the horrifying nature of what happens when there's no law and order, when people go feral. The Mad Men in this film hit a little bit different. They feel a lot more realistic, more visceral. During the outdoor scenes, the sky has this trippy but unfortunately very unconvincing aurora effect. This makes the film look unique, gives it its own character. This film sits on the outskirts of popular culture. I think a lot of people remember it as a good little post apocalyptic film. The giant mutated scorpions near the beginning were the inspiration for the rad scorpions in the Fallout games. If you're a fan of B grade sci fi, you'll occasionally see the Landmaster appear as an APC. And then there's the fact that this movie is a victim of Star Wars. Its own studio released the mega hit that was the original Star Wars, totally kneecapping this film. It would also steal money from it to finish Star Wars, which is why the special effects aren't always the best. All in all, I'd say that this is a good movie. It's at least worth a try, especially if you're a fan of post apocalyptic stuff.